Hi everyone, Daisy again, and we are going to work on a project for our preschoolers. It's inspired from the book The Clumsy Crab, and the picture is of a crab. We are going to be using crayons and tempera paint for a little bit of the painting, but mainly crayons this time. The paints come in for the background, so in case you feel that you don't have paints, you don't have to worry. You can work without the paint part at all. So I am gonna go ahead and grab me, I hadn't picked up a white crayon before I started, but now I have everything with me, so here we go. We start with our crab in the middle of the paper. Don't go up high because you know crabs have got those really big crusher claws and pincher claws and everything. So we want to have space for those big guys up here. So be in the middle, right over here. And at this point, I'm going to ask you to create one circle and two circles. Try to make them about the same size. This is for his eyes. And we're going to put a little dot. Based on where I put my dot, he's looking that ways. And I can give my crab a name. I can call him Joe. So let's do this. Let's make another careful circle around our crab's eye, only around the top, and make a little line under it. So you're making a second round. Go slow this time and come around, and you're going to put two little lines down here. Connect them together from the inside. This will be the top of our crab's head. And then you're going to go out for the body 1, out for the body 2. The rest of our crab's body is like a letter U. You don't want to make it too skinny. So if you're a little bit nervous about drawing it in one go and feel nervous there, this is another way. So put your finger in the middle, come down, and go ahead and make a straight line, but not as big as what you have here, smaller, right? Now take the side and go ahead and go up and up, right there. Done? Next step, let's put out the arms. Now, so let's give him his crusher and pincher claws, shall we? So the claws have got arms, and we're going to go out 1 and 2. Now, touching the top of this is going to be a ginormous letter U, like this. Oh my God, look at the size of this guy. Oh my goodness. Now do the same on the other side. Because if you make him heavy on one side but not on the other, what's gonna happen? He's gonna flop. And then you're going to have a flopped over crab that's going to feel what just happened to his life. There you go. You made the two. Now look at how you're gonna turn these into proper pincher and crab, other claws, right? Pincher and crusher claws. So let's go to the left one. Put a small line right about here till the halfway point, not all the way across, just to the middle. Now, to change your direction, go up, and you're going to become closed, right there. For the other side, you're going to leave a tiny gap, and you're going to come up, and you're going to have the other side of its crab. Do you see how I did that? Let's do it on the right side. So you're going to go ahead and make a straight line, only till halfway, not the whole way. Remember that part, right? Now you're going to turn it, and you're going to turn over. Come to make the shorter part of the crab's claw, and you're going to go up and close. So you have two ginormous crabs. Now we need to give our crab total of 6 legs, 3 on the side, 3 on the side. So let's start with the ones that touch the bottom of the ocean. So right over here at the bottom, 1 and 2. This is one leg. Do the same on the other side, 2. So you gotta make sure you do left then right. Now go to the next one. 1, 2. Go to the last one. 1, 2. See how I did it? Let's give our guy a little mouth in his body. So between the two eyes right here, make a short little line and give him a curved line over that so that we have a mouth. All done. Next step, what we can do is we are going to start with orange. Please get yourself an orange color, and we are going to use that to color inside. Now remember, tracing lines first. Trace your areas that you're going to color with your orange, and you're going to color this part of the crab's claw, not the whole of it, not this one, just the small guy. And again, remember, this is a video. Whenever you want to pause the video so you can work at your own pace, you should do that. Next, we want to have a few spots in his body. So 3 dots, 1, 2, and 3. And we'll do the same here. 1 big one, and we'll have a smaller and a smaller. Again, big one, smaller and a smaller, big one, smaller and a smaller. So we have our spots. Now let's turn over to our red. Remember to make your tracing lines. We talked about this, right? So we're going to have our tracing lines, and when we do color, we're going to color in small strokes, not big strokes. Trace around your dots. You do not want to color over your orange spots that you had made. Otherwise, why would you make them, right? So make sure that you color over them, everyone, just like this. Small short strokes to cover and color your claw. Again, same story here. I take my time. I don't want to go faster than I can do it. So I would ask you to do the same thing. Do this as the speed that makes you comfortable. Around the eyes. We don't want to keep his eyes just 2 black lines. We can put some red here. Again, in the body, go around your spots. Don't color on top of the spots. Take your time. If you find that the spots are a little bit difficult and they're taking too much time, you don't care for spots, well, then you don't care for spots. It's not a big deal. You can definitely do away with the spots, and you can color this crab the way that you would like to color it. You don't have to color it the way that I'm coloring it. That's what art is all about. You get to create your own stuff. But remember, whatever you do, you want to do it to the best of your ability. And you always want to give it 100%. Why? Because otherwise there's really no point. I want you to have fun, and I want you to also grow your skills. I'm going to add a red line to the legs because a crab has got red legs, not black all the time. So I'm going to just add this right there. Now, I want to add the ocean floor. So I'm going to take a blue. I'm going to make the floor from the bottom of his legs, connect from here to here, and then just take it up like this. See? Now it looks like he's on the bottom of the ocean floor. Next step. What we're going to do is we are going to create the ocean around our little guy. But before we do that, we want to have a yellow for the bottom of the ocean. You know, it's basically sand, right? At the bottom of the ocean, we mainly get a lot of sand. So take yellow, and if you don't have paints, get your yellow crayons. And again, tracing lines, everybody. Trace. And I'm going to use my paper because I like, when I paint a background, I need to be able to get all the way to the corner of the paper. But when I have to stop my hand, it doesn't make sense. Now, look at the way I move my brush. I go side, then back, then side, then back. Try to get into this habit of using the brush. Do you know why? Not because I'm saying so. The reason why you do the stroke is when you go and get paint on your brush, you have paint on the top, you have it on the bottom. But when we only use one side, the other side still has paint. So what we can do is paint, go backwards. So we're applying both the front and the back of the paint, and we're getting our picture done. Now, our yellow for the bottom of the ocean is done. Now let's give our beautiful crab a really nice home under the sea. So we can do that by getting him a beautiful background in a blue tone. But this time what I'm doing intentionally is I added a dot of green to my blue, and that will give me what we call a teal color. The teal is a mixture of blue with green. So it doesn't look like a perfect blue, but it's not green either. It's in between. And that's one of the reasons we do it. Always start painting from the top. So trace your lines. I'm going to bring my paper on the top so I can paint to the edge of my sheet. Tracing lines. Take your time. I'm going to go back and get any area that I missed. And I'm still going and taking my time because I want to go around all the different legs and everything. Remember, our crab's got a ton of legs. Not a ton, 6, but it's more than what we get, right? We get to only have our 2, and we better take care of those. And we better be as good as they are on 6, right? Imagine if we got to have crusher claws and pincher claws. It would be like we could use it to help us kind of crack open a can of something we want to eat, or chop up a little bit of wood, or whatever we needed to do with it. There are options, you know. It's not that we would be completely reckless with it, but at the same time, it's a fun concept for a story. Speaking of, why don't you think about if after you draw this picture with me, I would like to see if you can stop the video after you're done with all the painting and all, and tomorrow, maybe not even today, go away and see if you remember the steps. Because if you can draw this by yourself, then maybe you could create a family of crabs that decided that it was time for them to build a big family home, and you could possibly look at creating not one, but a multitude of crabs that were like crawling around the bottom of the ocean, lake, wherever you want to put them. And they wanted to get a big home where all their cousins and them could sit and play together. So they thought it'd be a great and cool idea to find maybe, I don't know, an abandoned large sunken ship. That's another cool idea. And you could have them kind of making their own little crabby nest over there and figure out what they want to do with that. This, my friends, is our picture of the clumsy crab. Again, see if you can draw it by yourself. This is how you build your skills. So when you're at school and you write a story about a crab, for whatever reason, and the teacher says, draw a picture, you won't have even the slightest problem. You just go right into it. It's as simple as that. Well, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye now.